Konnichiwa, my name is Kaori Nagao, your Las Vegas lifestyle specialist. Today I have my friend, Mr. Sean Uyehara from Loan Depot, and I'd like to ask him questions about pre-qualification. So Sean, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited to do this with you.
Yes, awesome. Love your YouTube channel. You want to talk about your YouTube channel real quick?
Yeah, it's, we like to bring a lot of content about Las Vegas, real estate, mortgage, anything to do with the city, and just kind of why we love it so much. And we've been really catering to a lot of buyers, and especially people that are thinking of relocating here. So we like to show them all different parts of the valley and different price points in homes and just anything that can help them with their relocation. So it's a one-stop shop to give them a lot of information.
It's fantastic. Love watching his videos, so you guys have to check it out. So my first question, I have a lot of first-time home buyers, and I think it's really important to understand the different steps that's involved in pre-qualification. So talk to us about that.
So the first step, especially when you're getting ready to get qualified, is to get with a lender. A lot of times people, they're shopping online, or maybe they're using some of these third-party websites like Credit Sesame, Credit Karma to look at their credit scores. But when you go and actually talk to a lender, the mortgage lender is going to pull a different credit report. So sometimes we talk to clients, and they think, hey, I've got a 600 credit score, but on Credit Karma, that's a 600. And then when we pull their score, it might be a 550 or something, because a lot of times those consumer websites, there are going to be 50 plus points, maybe even higher, actually on their credit score. So the most important thing that they can do to get started is actually get with a lender and let the lender take a look at the credit report, because then now you're dealing with the facts, right? We know exactly what's on the credit report. Are there any inaccuracies? A lot of times, right, there might be collections on there that you just completely forgot about, and it could be old stuff that's still reporting. So all those little things we want to address up front. That way, hey, if we need 3 months to correct it or fix it, we have that time, versus if you need to move out in 30 days and now we pulled your credit, now we're under the gun, and can you fix it fast enough, or else you have to go back and now maybe do a 6-month lease or something. So I've seen it derail people's plans, and that's why I think the most important thing out of everything is definitely getting with a lender first, so that way you know exactly your credit score and what to do to move forward.
Absolutely. And talk to us about the credit score, actually. Like, how do you pull that credit score? Or do you go to multiple credit bureaus? Like, how do you get like a median, average?
Yeah, so we pull all 3 credit bureaus, right? Transunion, Equifax, and Experian. And the score that any mortgage lender is going to use to qualify you is going to be the middle score.
Okay.
So when we pull the report, you'll have 3 different scores. And literally whichever score is the middle score, it's not an average or nothing, just whichever ends up being in the middle is the score that the lender will use to qualify you for the mortgage. Now the thing to keep in mind is that when you have multiple people that go on a loan application, we will actually use the lower of the 2 middle scores, right? So if you and your husband were to apply, and let's say his middle score was an 800, but your middle score was a 650, we're going to use a 650 as the qualifying credit score. So again, that's why it's so important to get with a lender, because you might be making plans based on inaccurate information, thinking that, hey, I've got a 700, I can qualify for this, this, and this, but the lender could easily, give you bad news. And again, it's not the lender's decision, right? That's the credit report that we have to work off of. So, a lot of times people feel that maybe the lender's just giving them bad news, or they don't want to do the loan, but we all want to help. And I think that's one thing, getting with a good lender to kind of explain that portion, because I feel sometimes, people, it's emotional, right? They feel like they get let down, that I can't buy a house, or it's impossible to do. But fixing credit is not a difficult thing to do. You just have to put a little energy into it. And I've seen clients gain 100 points, go from 500 thinking they can't own, to a year later, year and a half later, we've stuck by their side, helped them with their credit, and we got them into a house. So it's definitely doable if you put some time into it.
Great, this is great. So after the credit report is pulled, what happens next?
So if the credit report looks good and we can move forward, what we will do is send the client a list of the documents we need to verify. So most commonly, we're going to ask for 1 month of pay stubs, 2 years of tax returns, 2 years of W-2 forms and 2 months of bank statements. That's kind of the general rule of thumb. But here at Loan Depot, we do have some technology built into our application. So if you do an online application, sometimes we can digitally verify the income and digitally verify the assets. So if we can do that, then we can eliminate literally that entire list that I just mentioned. So sometimes, our clients will go online and do the application because it could streamline the entire process. But we understand some people don't want to put their information online. So, if we end up doing an application in person or over the phone, that's typically the general list that we're going to start from. And then once we get all that documentation, it usually takes us about 24 hours or so to kind of comb through everything. And then we can present the options of what they'll qualify for, whether they need down payment assistance, different types of loan programs, and run through all the numbers. So that way they have a good understanding, and then obviously we'll send them back over to you. And then that way you can do your thing and start showing them some homes.
So guys, as a first-time home buyer, it's so important to get with your mortgage contact and go through that credit report pulling. And of course, once you have your pre-qualification letter, now that would be the step for you to get in touch with me, and we will go look at the different listings that's available in the Las Vegas market.